Holy shit. I almost just lost my fucking hard drive with like most of my photography work on it, dude. Oh my god, bro. I just fell out of my fucking backpack, and thankfully I found it on the ground after searching for a while, bro. But my fucking heart sank, bro. I started praying to shit I never prayed for in my life, dude. Holy fuck. That was crazy. Thank God I found it though. But holy shit, it's been like a crazy ass fucking week. Sunday, July 19th, 11:36 p.m. I'm currently in the middle of an unnamed soccer field that I am not allowed to be on. But it's been really nice, really quiet here. Lay down, look at the stars for a little bit. I'm using my laptop for light because it's hella dark. But yeah, it's been a fucking crazy week. I have been in hell, like low key. My fucking mind has been, I don't know, I've just, like the last week I've been so depressed. And to be honest, I kind of broke today, and I've never really had that before, like really just breaking. This is kind of just been building up, honestly, all summer. I've just been feeling really weird all summer, like really weird, like mentally, like, I don't know, starting in like middle of June, like I started to get these like kind of almost panic attacks, but I could like stop myself, which I'm really good at, like controlling myself, like my emotions. But let me move. But I just been feeling weird, but I've never had that really before, besides like one other time. And I've been having these like depersonalization or derealization moments as well, and it's like kind of been building up all summer. And today, like, I just broke, dude. Like, I got back from watching the Spain-Argentina game, which was so sad, by the way, bro. I love Messi, and seeing him fucking cry and shit, and knowing it's probably his last international appearance is really sad. But because he was I loved him when I was growing up. Anyways, I got back from watching that, which I went out of my way to like go watch it with my friends, so I wasn't just in my room depressed. But then I got back, and I took a little nap to try and help, but I just fucking started freaking out, like in my head, and like really bad like thoughts and like depression, and I just felt inescapable. And the only like thing, I was like, I'm just gonna go on a walk. Like, I'm just gonna go on a walk, and if it helps, it helps. If it doesn't, then I don't know. But it was intense, dude. Like, I haven't had it in that intense really ever. I went on a walk, and slowly, I started to feel a little better, and I have been really, like, the reason why I'm like been freaking out, like really depressed the last week, is I've really just been thinking a lot about death. And I've talked about this a little bit before, but growing up 23, like, I'm still young in the grand scheme of things, I know, but I just realized, like, I'm gonna die someday, whether that's at my will or not. Like, it's just been freaking me out. Like, I've always not really been afraid of death or anything, but it's I just have been really afraid of death all week, and I'll explain what I kind of revelation today. But just been freaking out, just thinking about death all week, thinking about my age, and like thinking about how I'm not necessarily ideally where I am and want to be in life, even though I've had obviously no other options. Like, I'm as good as I can be, but just been like comparing myself all week to people that are like younger than me, and be like, oh my god, they're 20 and they're already like successful. And I desire success so bad. And so I just been stressing out all week, comparing myself with people, like comparing myself with soccer players on this in like an obsessive way. Like today I was like Yamin Lamal, like he's 18 or whatever and he's already a millionaire, and it's like, why am I comparing myself to him? Totally different lives. Like, but anyway, just doing that all week and like freaking myself out and really trying to calm myself down, but just freaking myself out. And today it just kind of hit a T, came to a T, whatever the fuck you say, and like started freaking out. Anyways, I already said this, went on a walk, but then I had this like, I just was in such a bad spot, and all I could do was walk. Like all I could do was just keep putting one foot in front of the Ford on this fucking walk to keep me going. And like I had just had this small idea of just writing down something that I'm looking forward to in the future, and like it ultimately is what saved me today, I guess. Not that I was gonna do anything like that today, but just, you know, took me out of this depressive state. I just had this small idea of just writing down things that I'm looking forward to in life, because all week I've been thinking about like, oh, like the best part of my life's over and life only gets worse as you get older. You know, so many people want to spit that narrative, and just all week that's been in my head, and I've just been like, why do I even want to keep going? Like I'm just getting older and getting worse, and you know my brain's getting worse, and I'm physically getting worse, and it's like I just had those really negative, obsessive thoughts, and today it came to a T, and sorry, I've already said this, I'm very tired, but I just had the idea of writing down things that I'm looking forward to, and you know, just things like small things like being with friends and family. Like I'm looking forward to that, and things like being in exciting, new, fun places, like simple things like that keep me going. And like, you know, other things like working towards my dream, and the feeling, you know, that I did achieve my dreams one day, and just being able to appreciate that moment and small moments, and not, you know, focusing on the past and accepting the past for what it is, and not like trying to get it back, you know. But what I realized today, and this is what is important if you take one thing away, is I'm not afraid of dying. I'm afraid of dying with regrets. And that's, I honestly, I started crying, like, because it made so much sense to me, and it felt like so much pressure was relieved. Like, okay, I've been weird as fuck all week. Like, why is this death thing freaking me out all of a sudden? And I realized, like, it's just been building up all summer, and stress. I'm going into real life, you know, as I graduated college, and I just realized, like, I'm afraid of dying with regrets. I'm not afraid of dying. I'm afraid of dying with regrets. And it made so much sense. Like, I want to finish my life, you know, I want to finish my life ideally, you know, at an old age, and I want to look back, and I don't want to have any regrets, and I don't want to have any, like, oh, I wish I could go back. Oh, I wish I did that. I don't want to have any of that. And it's easy to say, it's obviously harder to do, and it'll take time to really start living that way. But I will live that way. It's the only way I'll be able to live, and, you know, no regrets. I will live the life I want to live, and I will have no regrets. And I just wrote, like, to myself, like, I know you will do this. Like, I know you will look back on your life fondly and be like, I did all that shit. Like, whatever it is I end up doing in my life, like, I'll look back and be like, I had a great life. Like, I took control of my life. And, you know, I made the realization that, you know, there's this big narrative within society that the younger years are the best years of your life, and as you grow older, life sucks. And I just have always fucking hated that because it's such a negative fucking thing, and nobody's like, obviously there's tough situations at times, and like sometimes you have to do things you don't want to do for a while, you know, even for many, many years. But at the core, you have the power to live the life you want. Like, you have to do it. And I think I wrote like, so many people are negative about aging because they aren't living the lives they want, and they are living lives they don't want, and they're seeing time pass by and time's ticking of being able to do what they want, and that's why they're unhappy. And that's partially why I've been unhappy for a while, is because I've enjoyed my last college experience, and I wouldn't trade it for anything because I learned so much. And now's the time to go. But sorry, I lost my train of thought. But there's been that feeling inside me like I'm not doing what I really want to do, and I have to quiet that voice by doing what I want to do. And it's really gonna be hard. I'm gonna be really fucking busy, and I have to learn to take time for myself as well. But I have to just live the life I want to live. And it just comes down to that. I would rather get rejected or fail or be fucking tired or whatever, than have this fucking voice eating away at me for the rest of my life because I didn't do what I wanted to do. Like, that's horrible. That's worse than anything, bro. Like, that's horrible. But anyways, that's just been on my mind. It's just been like this whole week, and it's not gonna go away immediately, but like, I have to live that way, and I will. But we'll get through this little depressive state and keep pushing and keep living my life the way I want to live, bro. But other than that, it's been an okay week. It's just working and being stressed, and this class I'm taking for the last class I need for my degree, it's just so much work on top of studying for the exams, and time is crunching, and it's all so stressful, and working on photography. But that's what I'm saying, like, I have to work like towards these things. And I've been really like stressed about working this job, this financial advising job, which if I were to stick with it, I would make a lot of money probably, and I probably would be decent at it. But if that's really what I wanted to do, but obviously it's not what I want to do, and it never has been. And I've always known that, and I've known like getting my degree is just, I'm being here for running and being in college for running and making friends. I'm not here because I like finance and I want to work in finance. Fuck no. If that's your thing, that's awesome, but it's not my thing. And I wanna be an artist, and I am an artist and a photographer and whatever art I may make in the future. And sorry, I lost my train of thought again. I'm so tired. I barely slept last night, but wow, I completely lost my train of thought. Holy shit. Let's talk about school. Just working hard, I guess. The job. Okay, yeah. But I've had the talks with myself, and I realize that working this job for ideally no longer than a couple years it's what I'm gonna have to do. And I don't want to be doing it. It's gonna be taking away from what I could be doing in art. But to move to New York City, I'm gonna have to work this job because it allows me to live in the city and save up some money and do whatever. But I cannot get stuck in the trap of working this job for the rest of my life. That's another fear I have. You know, it's gonna be very hard to manage this job and building my photography art. But like I said, I'm not gonna die with regrets, so I'm gonna do it. You know, so that's that. But I've been stressing about that a lot because, you know, as I've gotten older, I've gotten like less tolerant of doing things that I don't want to do. And what I mean by that is like, you know, I've really only worked summer jobs so far since, you know, I've been a student for my whole life. But that's a manageable time frame. But even at the end of those summers, I'm like, how are you working here for like so long? How do you do this every day? Like, obviously, if you have like a family to feed, I get that. But or if you like it, I get that. But like, some of those coworkers, you can just tell they're so unhappy, and they have to be there. But you know, just how like I'm worried that I'm not going to be able to make it through this job because it's going to be very demanding. I'm going to have to put a lot of my mental effort into something that I don't like, and that's very hard for me. Because, you know, my mind is so focused on my artistic goals, and I'm just going to have to do it for a couple years. But, you know, I know that I'll do it, and I'll make it through. So, but, you know, there's positives of the job too. It's good connections, and also like good life skills, good communication skills, good business skills, and it'll be a cool job to work for a couple of years. Like, I'm in Midtown Manhattan, and you know, I gotta pass these exams first, bro, so I can get ahead of myself. But I'll get those done. I'll pass them. Because my life depends on it, to be honest. But so yeah. Anyways, I can go to bed soon. I'll work tomorrow. I got a lot of work to do for this class tomorrow after work, and then I gotta study. So I'm gonna wake up. I'm gonna run. Gonna eat a little bit. Gonna go to work 11:30, 7:30, and then I'm gonna study and do homework the rest of the night, and that's my day tomorrow. So yeah, that's gonna be my next few days. I work the next 3 days, so. But yeah, is what it is. I think that's all I have to say for today. I want to relax on this soccer field for a little more, stare at the stars a little more, listen to some more Daniel Caesar. Thought I look kind of tired, but yeah. Anyways, I'll keep pushing. So I will achieve my goals. So.